on a financial news program that the United States government, well, actually, the United States, the Federal Reserve, and the government, the new secretary of finance, basically, discussing the possibility of issuing a 50-year bond. Currently, you have normally a 10-year bond, 30-year bond, etc. A little bit of mix in between. I believe in World War II, the government issued bonds to pay for the war. A bond is basically like a certificate that you give the government a certain amount of money, and you get a fixed guarantee percentage back on your money. So bonds are not really my thing, but that sets the conversation for if the government issues a 50-year bond to stretch out debt. America, like all countries, are printing money, issuing debt, running deficits, but they can do that because they print money, they create money. Now, how does it end? Does it end one day it won't end in a bankruptcy, right? Because if you're the issuer of money, you don't go bankrupt. You can default and not pay people your bond. You not pay them the percentage back. But every government would have to do that because every government is pretty much in the same place. So Mexico and Saudi Arabia, I believe, already have a 50-year bond. But I'm saying all that to say, to set a foundation for, that can open the door for the 50-year mortgage. The stretching out of debt lowers the payment. There was not always a 30-year mortgage. Now you can finance a car for 7-8 years. You can finance an RV for 20 years. The reason that house prices went up in the 60s and 70s was because of the 30-year mortgage. Same thing with cars. Because people live on payments, very few pay cash. And I'm not going to even say it's wise to pay cash for everything. I know many people like Dave Ramsey, they say that debt is dumb, don't have any debt, and I think there's wisdom in it. I think there's wisdom with Dave Ramsey. He helped me. But I think your two biggest things to secure your financial future are an income, whether you work, you live off investments, whatever your income source is, keeping it, growing it, and your savings account. Okay, having an emergency fund. That's your power. Okay. Then you have to figure out how much debt, if any, is too much. So you say, well, if you got a 50-year mortgage, that's crazy because you can never pay it off. Well, sure you can. People who are 60 years old, they get a 30-year mortgage. Because when you die, the bank gets to decide if they give you the mortgage. You still have to go through approval. But if you die, the bank looks at all your statements. They look at all your assets, they look at your income, they look at your debt, just like any loan, they look through all your finances. And they figure that even if you die, that you have enough assets that can cover the liability, and they're willing to take the risk and give you the loan. And if you die before your money gets dispersed among your children, the estate has to settle the debts. And then if the debt exceeds what the state has asset-wise, then the debt dies with that person. Debt could be a good thing. Okay? But for the average person, it's not. I just got out of debt at the age of 40 last year. I don't know if I'll ever go into debt. I definitely want to do at least a year not getting debt. If I would ever get a car and there was a 0% interest rate, I'd probably still do that. If I ever bought property again, I'd probably get a loan. I wouldn't pay all cash. I wouldn't wipe out my savings unless, it was a very small percentage of my liquid assets. But, when you get such low interest rates, it's very, I'm not even going to say tempting. I'm saying it's almost wise. If you have a very low interest rate, why would you give up some liquidity if you know that you could at least match or come close to matching that in your own other ventures that you have with your money. So, how much debt is too much? Well, one is if you don't have income, okay, everything is too much. Every car is too much. Every house is too much. Your income is your lifeblood. And then if you don't have a savings account, you don't have security. You are a paycheck away from borrowing money from family, borrowing money from friends, or borrowing money from a bank. 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and they got a 30-year mortgage. Now, if you have a 15-year mortgage, you have a higher payment. So the whole logic is stretch the payments out. If the economy really tanks and you say, well, I'm glad that I have my house paid off with no debt because the economy tanks, well, your house is worth less. Not as many buyers in the market. You really can't win. I mean, what you can do, though, is focus on your income and your savings. And then you have to be careful not to take on too much debt. But you always have to go back to the two biggest drivers of your financial peace, your income and your savings. And, then I'd say the third thing would be your investments. Your interest rate on your mortgage, whether it's a 50-year, 10-year, doesn't matter. To the extent that it's not part of your budget, to the extent that you don't look at things through a holistic way. Like, I got caught in that algorithm where they say, interest rates are low, you have to buy a house now. They said that 5-7 years ago. Now interest rates are even lower. They said 5, 7, 10 years ago that you're never going to get lower interest rates than this. I remember that was at 5%. Now they're at like 3. So can they go any lower? Sure. The government can say they're going to bring the bonds, because loans, the mortgage and all loans, the interest is based on bonds. Whatever the going bond market is kind of coincides with what the loan interest rate is, because the banks, okay, are kind of like in bed, okay, with the bond market, and they're allowed to borrow, they're allowed to lend out more than they have on the books, and it's all based kind of on the bond market and the interest rates. It's a big clusterfuck. Look, guys, it's a monopoly, eggshell game. But it's, what else are you going to do? We are better now in 2021 than 1921 when you were a farmer and you paid cash, you pay for a gold bar. Who cares if you were debt-free in 1920 and you didn't have a cell phone, you didn't have a car, you worked and you stayed in the same place, and your family didn't have Social Security. Everyone was just huddled together, eating dinner every night together? Hell no. Okay. So thank God for debt, because it grew the modern world. Okay. I don't want to go back to everything is cash, but I also don't want to go back in debt. I also probably don't want a 50-year mortgage, but at the same time, I got no kids. Who am I leaving my money to? Okay. But I just want to live free. But I would say probably in my lifetime, we will see the 50-year mortgage. Because again, 50 years ago, I don't think there was the 30-year mortgage. You'll probably see car loans be able to go to 10 years. You will probably see interest rates negative, meaning that if you keep money in a savings account, you'll probably get charged 1% because they want you to spend it and put it into the economy. So that's when your savings can hurt you. But again, you have to figure out how much do you want in savings. But if you have an income and if you have savings, even if they did that where they had negative interest rates, you could always move things around. I like to be liquid, and obviously if things change, you move things around. But when you have all that debt, when you have no savings, and when you're not really working or producing an income, you have no fluidness, you have no liquidity, you are stuck. And I don't like to feel stuck. I don't like to be stuck. I like to be as free as possible in this world. And for some people, a mortgage, financial discussions, It doesn't do anything for them. Everyone's different. And for years, I kind of just like ignored things. Okay. Everyone's in a different season, but for me, I like to talk about it. Okay. I like to be aware. Okay. So that I can stay focused, because part of your freedom is based on your financial awareness. If you're not aware financially, you may not know everything. I don't know everything about the ins and outs of the bond market. I don't know everything about everything, but I know enough, okay, to pay attention to my own wallet, to pay attention to what's going on in the general economics, not to be fearful. I live each day to the fullest, but just to see the different webs that are getting cast out into society. I don't think a 50-year mortgage would be bad, because I think some people, they get a mortgage maybe at 30, and they sign up for a 30-year mortgage, they'd be 60 when they paid off. And they'll probably sell their house when they're 45 or 50, when they're empty nesters. And then they're going to get another 30-year mortgage. Okay. And if you can get an interest rates 3% or lower, it's like, why would you pay cash? You know, it's like, I don't know, but everyone's different, you know. A Stretch, one of my viewers asked me, he works at Planet Fitness. I believe he makes $18 an hour. I think he has a second job at night at Home Depot. He had gotten a car accident. His car got totaled. He was able to pay it off, no debt. But then he's faced with a dilemma. He has extra money. Does he go buy a hoopty, a junk car cash, or does he go finance something and take on debt? I told him, look, try to avoid debt if possible. But again, your income and your savings is your power. But but you also need a reliable vehicle. No sense of driving $1,000 car if it's going to break down all the time. I know people that do that every 2 years. Every year they get another $2,000 car. It's like, you might as well have a payment of $200 a month, and you would have never had to keep getting a new car. But everyone's different. But I would say, yeah, look, if you can get a new car, they have some deals depending on your credit that you can get 0% interest, or even 1 to 3% interest. I would get that than burn up my savings. Now again, you have to look at your financial situation, your goals, your objective. I don't know, it's like, some people say all debt is bad debt. And I'm not going to say they're wrong, because when you're in debt, you owe someone, there's terms and obligations, but it's better to owe a bank than your family. And the hard thing is, when you're young, you need your family, because you don't have credit built up. You may not have your job secured, and you need a cosigner. And I've been down that road, and it's a bad road, because that puts you so far behind the 8 ball that's hard to ever gain your independence. Because as soon as you become that's the biggest time you really need to avoid debt, is before you're 30. Because by the time you're 30, most people have college loans, car loans, and they got their first house on the way. And they're so in debt, and they may even have a cosigner, and they may even borrowed money from their family for a down payment for their house, which I did. And you never get out of that rut, okay? Or it takes a very long time, especially if you have kids, you're done. Tony, I paid off my car last year. Now I have 0 debt. Very happy about this. Well, congratulations, brother. That's a great accomplishment. I did the same thing. We did it in the same year. Yeah, it does feel good to have no debt. As soon as you pay off your debt, it's almost like you want to fill the void and take on more debt. But that's what I told myself. I always try to find mental tricks to get me to push the rock forward. I said to myself, well, try to go at least a year with no debt. That way, you're able to level out your emotions. Like I tell people, after you go through a major breakup or a divorce, I think you should spend a year being single, so you can get a feel for how it feels. $5 super chat, Sky High, said that college debt is something we all have to pretty much take an L on. Yeah, well, it looks like the government may allow some default on that, or some forgiveness, which is good, because Dave Ramsey, Donald Trump, many rich people have been able to claim 50 cents, have been able to claim bankruptcy. So you should be able to bankrupt college loan debt. Why? Because if corporations can do it, why can't a 20-year-old, 30-year-old person do it? So they've learned that lesson. And So yeah, I would just pay minimum on college loan debt, pay everything else off, and then see where you're at. And hopefully by then the government will let you default on some, uh, because that's what happens, guys. Government will just let people default. On maybe the government will eventually default. Will the game end? No, guys. America's in bed with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is in bed with Russia. Russia's in bed with China. Everyone's in bed with everyone. So what are you going to do? Take off the sheets and say, oh, you're naked. Well, guess what, guys? Every other country's naked. This is how life works. How? I was in debt for too long. Once I paid off, I am not trying to go back. Good to see you, Sam. Stay blessed. No, I understand that, man. I mean, I kind of feel the same way. Thank you again, Sky High. And thank you, Tony. I kind of feel the same way, Hal, that I'm very cautious to go back in debt. I certainly want to, but I'm not going to lie to you. If I get another car and there's a 0% loan, a 0% interest, I'm gonna just stretch the loans out. I'll just get a 0% interest loan. I'm not gonna pay cash. Nope. If I pay 0%, I'd rather have that money trying to work for me. No guarantee it's gonna work, but I'm a believer now. I've done both. I've been in debt. I've been out of debt now for about a year. Hold on, $3 super chat. Blanche Taylor, thumbs up. Well, thumbs up to you. I appreciate that. I hope these videos are helping you guys in some way, guys and girls, and sparking something in your mind, keeping you company, entertaining you, informing you, something. Thank you, Blanche Taylor. Very much appreciate it. Thumbs up. Super sticker, super chat. Thank you, Sky High as well. Hal and Tony, thank you. Hal says, I don't consider my car a debt because I use it and make money. Plus, it is a fixed rate. Yeah, look, anything below 5% is a go. Anything above 5% interest, it's hairy because then it starts to get maybe not worth it, too much debt. When I had bad credit and when I was struggling, I took on a car loan debt. It was 25% almost. And that was bad debt. It was too much. But I had no choice. And I refused to get a cosigner because I was trying to like build my life. I said, I ain't going down that route again. So, if you have to, I would even tell you to pay 25% interest on a car rather than have a cosigner. Yep. Because what I can tell you is you're not free when you're on the hook to someone else. I'd rather be on the hook to a bank for 25% interest than have a cosigner, family, friend, whoever, than have a cosigner for 5%. If you say, Sam, I'm going to give you a car loan for $30,000, but you have bad credit. So if you do it, it's going to be 30%, 25% interest. But if you get your mother to co-sign, it'll only be 5%. So I'll take the 25% interest. Because at a certain point, you have to build your own life and separate. Separate is not easy. I learned a lesson, some lessons these hard way. So not all debt is bad, but avoid debt as much as possible. If there was a 50-year mortgage, that means house prices going up. You say, how are the middle class going to afford houses? 50-year mortgage. The same thing that happened in the 60s and 70s. 30-year mortgage. 30-year mortgage didn't exist. How are they going to afford cars? 10-year loans. Guys, what corporate America taught me is push the rock forward because it's all monopoly money. The Federal Reserve giveth and the Federal Reserve taketh away. You say, I just spent $25,000 buying Bitcoin. Oh, yeah? Well, Janet Yellen said that cryptocurrency has to be regulated because it's a lot of illegal funding. Now it's down to 30,000. So, guys, the Federal Reserve could change shit like this. Okay. So, look, it's all a game, guys. Okay. Now, again, if you got family, if you got estate planning, you have to figure this out. Again, your income and your savings is your power and your strength. Don't take on too much risk. My man, Challenger the Welder and Pluto. If you're single with no kids, you don't have to make a 5,000% return in Bitcoin. You can make a 5% return a month or even a year. When you're single with no kids or whatever, lower your risk. Steady income, incremental gains on investments. Why stress yourself emotionally, financially? See, when you're out of debt, you got a savings account and you got income, you don't need to be a financial wizard. Okay, you gotta lower the risk so you have peace and so you don't stress out too much. Good job. Hal, I had the lady I was with co-sign for the car. Oh, at that time, we thought we would be together forever. Well, you're going to get a 50-year mortgage. You're going to think you're going to want to die in this house. And then 10 years later, you're going to say, I'm going to kill somebody if I got to stay in this house. See, I bought a house on a 30-year mortgage. And after 12 years, I said, I thought when I bought it, I said, I'll never leave here. After 12 years, I was ready to get the hell out of Dodge. And that's why I tell you, be careful when you're doing that pillow talk. And you're about to cream pie, you say, oh my God, let's go. You got R. Kelly in the back. Let's go have fun, oh baby. All I need is your body next to me. R. Kelly, 15 years ago, was the king of R&B. Multi-millionaire. Could bang any chick he wants. Last year, R. Kelly was in a jail cell, dead broke, getting stabbed. You know how quick life changes? You think you're going to get a 30 or 50-year mortgage and still love that house 30 or 50 years later? Huh, you haven't lived life. Keep your flexibility. Keep your income. Keep your savings. And if you're going to owe debt, owe to a bank, not to R. Kelly. Because you went around, you thought you could fly. You thought you and R. Kelly were going to be together forever. You went and you got R. Kelly to co-sign a loan on your car. Now you're entangled in madness. These are the lessons we learn through life. He goes, at that time, we thought we would be together forever. I'm sorry, I had to stop when I read that part. As we started realizing, that it was working, she asked me to take her name off. Amen? That's the best thing she did for herself and you. Because you can't move forward when you're in a note that says, when you're a cosigner or you got someone else to cosign for you. It's in the Bible to not cosign debt. It's in the Bible to stay single. Now, I don't believe everything in the Bible, but I believe those two parts. Tony. Great one, Sam. As a single person, your income and your savings are your strength. That's it. Now, look, with inflation, you can say savings is a liability. Hey, guys, I'll take my chance with inflation. Okay. And again, I would take on car loan debt as long as the interest rate was below 5%. I would take on a 30 or 50-year mortgage if I ever got a house as long as the interest rate was below a certain percent. Because I'd rather have my income and have my liquid assets and have debt that I could default on if I had to. Why? Because that's what the big dogs do. Now, again, not too much debt. And again, I'm debt free and I don't know if I'll ever go back. So I'm just sharing. I'm very cautious now. I may never take on debt again. I may not never. And you could do it. But I don't know. I'm just talking this out tonight. Thank you, Tony. Thank you again, Sky High, and thank you, Blanche. I appreciate that very much. Thank you both. Hal, my credit score was bad. Yeah. So she put her name on here. The interest rate was 6.3%. Not too bad. Now, when I put it in my own name, I had the rate pushed down to 5.4. There you go. My credit score was 535. Okay, I've been down that low, a little bit lower even. In April, now it's at 738. Amen. Now, the only missing key is you got to get that income pumping. Now, the good thing is you got the extended unemployment. You got the stimulus, and you may even get more. Once you get your income and pay attention to your food budget, your food, guys, what's the number one thing that people spend more money on? Food. Okay, so, and I understand it. I eat like a king. Why? Because, guys, you know, you got to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But when things are tough, you got to tighten up. But what I could tell you right now, Hal, you're positioned well. Why? Because you got no kids and you're not married. So guys and girls, whether you're ESP in Alaska and an Airbnb, okay, guys, she's living good. Why? She got no kids, not married. If you have no kids and you're not married, lower your risk. Lower your risk. Why are you stressing yourself out? You don't need to make a heavy return. If you're, my man, eternally inspired and you're a middle-aged man, you don't need to make $1 million to be able to retire. Do some medical deliveries. Do some DoorDash. Do some more videos. You're eternally inspired. It's almost at 400 subscribers. All you need to do is make a little on the side. Make a little on the side. Have a steady income. Have a savings account. You don't need to be crazy. Before you know it, you're dead. So live your life with a high quality of life, of steady cash flow, lower stress, lower risk, and targeted focus. Not too much debt. Tony, you learned a good lesson, Hal. Amen. Hal? Oh, for sure, Tony. She wanted a new car and told me having me on it won't get it done, won't get a good deal. Well, all I know is this. You guys broke up, and your life would not be good if both of you stay entangled in that financial disaster. Tony, we have all made mistakes. Amen. When we were in love. Amen. That's true. Laughing. No, that's true, man. Hal? Half on a Baby was a great song. It was. But R. Kelly's done. Okay. R. Kelly is the Donald Trump of politics. Donald Trump is the biggest disgrace to America. R. Kelly, as great as he may have been, is one of the biggest disgraces to R&B. Why? Because, guys, you can only do so much dirt before they say, you know what, we can't play your shit no more. I mean, we can't even feel the same way about it. You know, we can't really feel the same way about I can't feel the same way about I used to bump TP2 and go a half on a Baby. I used to bump all that. You can't bump that anymore and feel good about yourself. You can't say Trump 2020 anymore and think, like you're a deplorable. You feel horrible. Okay. Guys, it's going to take the rest of their life for some people to peel off the despicable feeling of knowing that you voted for Trump. It's the same thing, like the same feeling you get now when you listen to R. Kelly. You just don't feel good. Okay. So, guys, life changes quick. Paul, what's up, man? What's up, Sam? How long did it take you to adapt to New Jersey winters while nomading? Or was it hard to nomad in the cold? Good question. Well, for those who don't know, I sold my house 4 years ago. And for the first 2, I lived in my car in New Jersey because I needed to wait for a job transfer so I can come down to Florida and not live the destitute life, but live a good life, okay? Because, again, your income and your savings determine your quality of life. Financially, still got to take care of your health. But so how did I get through the 2 winters? And some winters I faced a blizzard. I did some videos on it. 0 below temperature. Did a video, I think, on that. How did I get through it? Here's how I got through it, Paul. The passion and the vision to get to Florida. My goal and my dream. I visited Florida first to know if that's what I wanted to do. And once I came down there a couple times, I said, I never want to go back to New Jersey, but I had to. And I made videos coming back to New Jersey, so upset. So I had such a focus to say, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to freeze my ass off with all these layers of clothes, 3 pairs of thermal socks. And I was so focused because I knew that I'm going to wait a couple years or whatever, get a transfer. And if I don't, I'm saving up. I'm going to position myself and I'll get a job down there regardless. I knew it was Florida or bust, but I didn't do it irresponsibly. And so that passion that you fucking feel, fire emoji, kept me warm even when I was freezing. Okay. And I was freezing. Okay. But if you're just going to say, I'm going to live in my car in New Jersey because I just don't want to pay rent, I don't know where the passion's going to come from. Okay. Because what I can tell you is not a lot of passion in that. Okay. So it's like, that's what you have to determine. It's like, what are you trying to accomplish? I was good. I knew I was changing my life one way or another. So it's like, if you have that goal, you have to know your goals and you have to have a realistic plan. You have to have an exit strategy. You got to have an income. You got to have a savings. I had all those things. Okay. If you're destitute, you got to get subsidized housing and you got to get a job. So those are the different mindsets that you have to take. Good job. Good question, Tony. Before you know it, before you know if you're dead, we need to remind ourselves of that every day. Look, every day that passes, you're closer to death. Average life expectancy is about 80. Every day I get through without a mortgage, without marriage, without rent, without major problems, I say, well, this day's a win. I'm closer to death. I made it through. It's a game. Guys, all you're playing is a game of like Super Mario Brothers. Okay. And you got 80 games to play. Okay. And each game that you get through and you don't die, you're one step closer to game over no matter what. But you live a better quality life when you have more control. Okay. Versus Big Shirley got control. Okay. Because if Howell was still on that note, he can't run shit like he want to run shit. If Tony didn't get out of debt, or at least like get a hold of his finances, he can't run shit. You have to figure out what makes you tick. What do you want to try to do in your time that you're here? Because look, guys, I get depressed, I get sad, but I don't stay there. Why? Because I don't want to just suffer through life no matter what. I want to push forward. I want to show up. I want to increase my income, decrease my debt. I want to do my creative gifts how I want to do it, because no nasty person is on the co-creator of this channel. Okay. The freedom that you have in life, okay, when you start to organize and manage things on your own through failure, through sacrifice. I had some nasty girl, Sonia, and I think she's a big chick trying to get pregnant because she wants a kid so bad, but she hasn't worked in 2 years. And she goes, Sam, you're a great example of never delay pleasure. I blocked her as soon as she said that. I said, never delay pleasure. Did you watch my videos when I was suffering in New Jersey? Did you watch my videos of times that I sacrificed, and I was struggling, or as far as like just emotionally, mentally, or in an area I didn't want to be, or doing? Did you watch me doing the coronavirus? You don't watch me. You're trying to justify having a baby. You're trying to justify the R. Kelly song, Half on a Baby. And what I could tell you is your baby's going to have a bad mother. Okay? Because you're selfish as fuck. And I hate to say that. But the reality is, guys, that's why the world's filled with psychopaths. And I understand it because, guys, I think we've all been young psychopaths listening to Half on a Baby. However, at a certain point, you got to get out of strip club. At a certain point, you got to stop having babies. At a certain point, you got to say, look, Joe Biden's the president now. That's it. Country changed. It's never going back. Okay. That's it. It's done. Okay. And so what I can tell you is this, guys. Joe Biden's not trying to reprogram you. The problem is you got an alcoholic 65-year-old woman with cracked skin, and her best days are behind her. Okay. And she thought Rush Limbaugh was going to save her. Okay. But what I could tell you is, can no one save that type of mindset? Okay. Okay. And what I could tell you is you damn sure don't want to have her as your co-signer. Okay. Because she's bad people. That's what I say. Where are we at? How did you work out in the cold when it was so cold and lived in your car? I keep thinking about that. Getting dressed in the car while cold. I work out twice a day. I'm trying to figure that out. I caught pneumonia. There was one winter I pretty much had like pneumonia for about a month because of the in and out of my car. Going to the office, going to the gym, back in my car. That's when you get cold. When you go from inside, you walk outside and you go back in your car. That time, if you don't have all your scarves, all your layers on, and if you're sweating, it's a disaster. So guess what, guys? That's part of the sacrifice. You may get walking pneumonia. Okay. Because, guys, living in the Northeast in the car, it's not like, oh, here's my Mr. Buddy heater, and I stay warm just like I'm in an apartment, but I don't pay rent. Guys, that's not reality. Okay. The reality is, guess what? You may jeopardize your health. Okay. Guess what, guys? If you're not an independent soul, ready to sacrifice, ready to take some chances, but have backup plans, guess what, guys? Stay in your apartment. Rent a room. Because, guys, the nomad life is filled with those ups and downs, especially when you're not in a good climate. Okay. When I was in Florida, not this past summer, the summer before, I got a roach infestation at a state park because they got like flying roaches in the summer. They got all type of bugs. It was a fucking disaster. So what I could tell you guys is you only learn through doing. I often tell you guys, look, you don't need more schooling. You need to show up more. You need to fail more. And you need to try to learn. But look, guys, part of learning is getting hit in the mouth. You know, it's like you're not going to be able to be a nomad without eventually probably having a run-in with a police officer, a run-in with a drug addict, okay? Getting sick in your car, wanting to quit, being depressed. Guys, have you watched the 4 years, and I'm not saying this to anyone in chat, but I'm just sharing. In the 4 years, guys, there's been ups and downs. Now, I know some people don't watch every video. They just watch, and I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is you can't just select what videos you watch and then say that you got a full understanding of what you're evaluating. You know what I mean? So even today, every day, I know that I sacrifice some things to keep my freedom. And I say to myself every point, is it still worth it? Now, it's less and less worth it because I reached my goal. What kept me warm in the winter in New Jersey was my goal to get to Florida, live below my mean, create side hustles, build my savings, and stay out of debt. And I'm there now. So now I say to myself, well, am I just being bullheaded? But I just haven't found the right fit yet to go to the next step. So until then, I keep it simple, keep all my options open. I keep working, keep the income. I keep a savings account, pile up that cash. I avoid debt. But if I had to take on debt, I would stretch it out. I would keep the interest rate below 5%. And I don't care if it's a 50-year mortgage or a 50-year car loan. Be on that loan by yourself and try not to touch your savings or your income. Back to live comments. Tony. Sonia is warming up greasy soup. She's a nasty woman. She tried to act nice too. And then one comment, like I said something, this was, I don't know, like we had got in an argument. I unblocked everyone like a few months ago because this hot chick from New Mexico, shout out to her, she had, she had like sent a message, right? And I blocked her by accident, but I said, oh, she's actually being positive. So I unblocked everyone, right? Because I think I was trying to look for the hot New Mexico chick. So everyone got unblocked. Okay. And Sonia was blocked already once. And here's a tip for all you YouTube creators. Once you block someone, never unblock them. Because they're the same nasty bastard they always been. And they don't like you, you don't like them. Or they like you, but you don't vibe. But there's some people that I let slide. So Sonia was blocked about a year ago. Okay. Why? Because she was projecting herself on me. Because she's not working, she's not happy, but she wants to justify having a kid. So because she's not happy with herself. She wants to be a mother, but she can't even take care of herself. I know that type of person. So I remember like saying like, get out of here. And she was like, yeah, right, well, have a blessed day. Like, when someone tells you have a blessed day, like, go fuck yourself. I said, get the fuck out of here, Satan. Get behind me, Satan. Get behind me, Sonia. Oh, I'll tell you, I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to stay positive tonight. And what I can tell you is this, guys. And I think Sonia's a liberal. I don't know, maybe she is. I tell you guys, I block liberal people. I block conservative. I had one of my biggest trolls, Valerie, from Oregon. Guys, she was liberal. And I've had a bunch of Trumper conservatives. They got blocked too. I've had white. I've had black. I've had brown, yellow, and Puerto Rican. I had a Puerto Rican mom. Yep, and I love my Puerto Rican girls. But she was talking wild. So what I can tell you guys, I don't measure people by the color of skin, but the content of their comments. And when those comments get crazy, I say, this motherfucker's dead to me. Shark Tank style. Goodbye. But once in a while, they end up finding their way back. I said, why did I ever let them back in my life? That's what I say. Roberto, you know what it is. And this is a life lesson, guys. It's better to have a 50-year mortgage than a 50-year-old woman listen to Rush Limbaugh in your house. That's what I say. That's what I say. Yep, that's true. Okay. All right, let's go back to live comments. Take hydration break first. Shout out to Roberto, Paul Howe, Scott, thank you again for the super chat. Tony Guerrero, Blanche, everyone in here. Going forward, I appreciate you. I have gratitude. Take hydration break. Yeah, Tony. You see an all-night gas station disaster, Tony. I hate to be mean, because guys, I like to be nice. But I said to him, I can't handle it. It's like, when you're a YouTube creator, I think about all these comments. I say, what type of people? But there's more good than bad, but the bad people, and not like bad people like Jason or Freddy Krueger, like serial killers, just like you said, Tony, like just someone heating up some greasy-ass soup on hat. And I'm like, man, come on, man, go live your life. How? Maybe drop it once a day of working out. Maybe drop it to once a day working out. Well, I've dropped it to once a day working out for me. That's probably be, if I didn't have a job, if I was fully retired and I was just living off investments, I would possibly still do two workouts a day. I did 2 workouts a day briefly when the gyms reopened in New Jersey and I wanted to get back in shape. But I'm back to 1 a day because I put too much mental stress on myself to get back in the gym at noon. So I just try to do 1 workout in the morning, 15 to 30 minutes, and I try to get in the gym at least about 4 to 5 days a week, and that keeps me healthy. If I do a little bit more, I feel a little bit better, but I have to manage my time. I only got so much time a day. I got the main job. I got this as a side hustle. I got self-care. I got MILFs. That takes up your whole day. I got to sleep 6-8 hours, No naps, though. Hal. What does that say? Oh, yeah, baptism by fire. That's what I'd say. Oh, yeah, fire emoji. Paul, for up north, a good balance is 9 months nomading and 3 months Airbnb. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have used that Airbnb as a supplemental level of stability for the nomad life. Again, ESP, who lives in Alaska in her NV200 van, she is doing that for the winter. I know Gail, she used to watch my channel. I don't know if she did Airbnb, but she rented a place for a few weeks in the summer. So yeah, look, it makes sense, right? Because the ultimate thing about the nomad life is, even though it does feel like you're in a competition, and it does feel like you're cheating on the nomad life by getting an Airbnb, but the real goal for the real nomad is to keep flexibility. But if you need to use an Airbnb to supplement some extreme weather, there's nothing wrong with doing short-term rental for 2-3 months during the extreme season and then get back in your vehicle. But here is the hard part. And if ESP is lurking in the background, I know she got quiet ever since I said I masturbated to her, even though I never saw her face. And I saw Keeping Up with Bree, she put her Instagram to private when I said I masturbated to her. Guys, no one wants to be famous. I understand it. It's all right. I'll take the heat, but I'll take the super chats too. If you want super chats, you got to go public. Because, guys, you can't half-ass your way to celebrity. You can't sell lipstick to all the ugly women and not have Keeping Up with Kardashians. And guess what, guys? You can't be a YouTuber getting super chats in a gas station until you show your face. Guys, not too many people want to do what you do. But let me tell you this. Back to my man Paul's comment, and Paul Soprano, because Paul wants his privacy. I understand that. Because I don't know if you guys know, I don't think it's Soprano, but we'll see. I love you, Paul. I'm going to get to Roberto. So to Paul's comment, because this is a good comment, I do believe with his philosophy and many's that use Airbnb as a supplemental level of stability for the nomad life, because the nomad life is very unstable. Okay. Now, I'm a little bit of a wildebeest, guys. I'm an all in or all out guy. Okay. I don't go half-half. I don't care. Now, if I needed to, I would. Okay. But the problem is, once you get comfortable, it's hard to get your big ass out of that Airbnb. Once you got that running water, once you're walking around in your robe, and you're sitting, and even though you want the adventure, every time you get comfortable, You go back. Guys, Gail did the right thing because Gail's in her 70s. When you're in your 70s, guys, you got to look for a home base or subsidized apartment. And ESP did the right thing. Guys, I don't think she wants to destroy her health in Alaska in the winter. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is once you start getting that comfortable life, you don't go back to the nomad life. You don't. Now, you'll go back for adventure, but you're not. If you take an Airbnb for 3 months, you're not going to do the nomad life full time for 7. Here's how it works, in my opinion. Do what you want. This is my experience. Is you'll do the nomad life for the weekends or for about 2-3 months out of the year. And then you're going to go back to an Airbnb for the majority of the year. And what's going to happen is you're going to be spending just as much as a conforming life, which there's nothing wrong with that, your money. But then you might as well just get the home base. That's why I'm all in or all out. Yes, you keep your flexibility with the Airbnb. It all depends. But my experience is once you get comfortable, you ain't going back to nomad life. You're not. And everyone, Sarah told me the other day, she loves the freedom of living in a car. But just 3 months ago, she was living in an apartment. AJ, he was trading the currency market during the coronavirus. I don't know if he lost money or made money, but he was telling me, all the nomads stay on the road. He went into a 5-star hotel. I don't know if he's back in his Prius now. I don't know. So guys, the only people living full-time in their vehicles, my man Manolo and Emilio down in Miami in a free public park, they're running their generator loud as hell. And they shopping at Costco. And guys, they ain't going nowhere. And me, but guys, I don't know. Every day I evaluate that. Is an Airbnb better? Is 1,000 Trails with a travel trailer better? And now that I'm at my goals, it gets closer and closer to me thinking that. But flexibility, see, to me, I give up some comfort for maximum flexibility. I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying that's my mindset. Yeah. Good comment, man. That's a good comment, though. It's a good conversation. There's no right or wrong answer, guys. Remember, we're going to go back to live comments. This is what I always want to tell you guys. I am barking in my phone because that's my side hustle. And this is my passion. But it's your money. It's your life. You have to figure out what you want to do for you. But I don't care what you do. You're going to get some thumbs down. But let me tell you something. May your super chats be worth more than because a thumbs down is free. Who gives a fuck? Okay. What I could tell you is this: just by making a video, you do better than not. But what happens is this: what happens? I'm gonna tell you. You don't make a video one day. Then you don't make a video 2 days. Then before you know it, 2-3 weeks. Then you make a video once a month. You say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know haven't been doing videos." Yeah, because you got too damn complacent. You lost the eye of the tiger. I'm fucking showing up every day. New Year's, inauguration, the Capitol overtaking, the coronavirus, before Trump, after Trump. When R. Kelly was still popping till now, he's a inmate. Because I keep the edge. Why should you never drink alcohol? You'll lose your edge. Oh, you had a long day at work, have this glass of wine, take off the edge. Don't take off that edge. That's what gives you the edge. That's what allows you to do what other people won't do. You lost your edge. You lost your eye of the tiger. You're Rocky Part 2. Yeah, coconut's fire emoji. And what I can tell you is, guys, you don't get this type of fucking edge when you're in an Airbnb in your robe. Because like my man Ultimate Warrior say, great lives don't happen in front of campfires or in your silk robe, drinking wine, looking at the Bitcoin futures market. Great lives are formed in the all-night gas station. Okay? When you're fucking intense or in New Jersey, in back of a Dunkin' Donuts with 0 below temperature, and some fat, lazy woman wants to know how do you stay warm in your car in the winter, and you got to answer her for the 15th time, and she's never going to leave her house. And she wants to know, why are you screaming? I'll tell you why I'm screaming. Because I'm living on the edge. I'm living focused. You're living in an Airbnb, heating up DiGiorno pizza. Do you see the difference? You're out your mind, okay? You live in that Hallmark movie life. And my mom lives that life. I love my mom. What I'm trying to tell you, guys, If I was 70, if I had a family, I would be living a different life, but I'm not. I can't speak for that life. When I'm 70, guys, even 7 days from now, guys, when I get a home base, I'll tell you, I'm not going to have the same edge. I can't be, I got neighbors and shit. When I get a home base, guys, we're going to be doing mathematical formulas. I'm going to be talking about stocks. I'm going to talk about the currency market. I'm going to be talking about bond yield rates. Okay. I'm going to be talking about electrical theory, proton, neutrons, electrons. You guys ain't ready for that. Okay. I'm going to talk about three-way switches. I'm going to talk about transformers, AC, DC, not the rock group, the electrical theory, alternating current and direct current. You guys aren't ready for that. You guys are still trying to figure out, how do I stay warm in my car? How do I stay cold? Let me tell you something. Sell your house, get a fucking sleeping blanket, and get the fuck out of your house. You won't do it. Until you're that intense, guys, stay in your house. Live in your mom's basement. Because there's no way you go to the next dimension, okay? And you got fucking half your foot in the fifth. You don't go in the fifth dimension when you got 1 foot in the first dimension. You gotta fucking jump in the water. Now, not reckless. Okay. Oh shit. Mockingbird $5 super chat. Alcohol and fast food are for people with kids. Oh yeah, they gotta have some excitement in life. You ain't lying about that. Single people drink coffee. That's me. Yep. And avocado toast and a vasectomy and Starbucks. Damn it, Mockingbird 100 emoji, fire emoji. What I can tell you, brother, is the happiness of a married person with many kids is like basically a 10% drop in Bitcoin. It's very scary. But I do know a couple people that are good people, that they got kids, they got a family. There's a few exceptions. So I don't want to be hurtful, but I got to speak my truth. And Mockingbird, me and you align under this truth, which is, guys, if you're single with no kids, don't take too much risk. Why? You don't need a big return. You can have a modest income, modest savings, and a $20 super chat. Blanche Taylor, you are amazing. Super sticker, super chat. What I could tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Blanche. Until you're willing to show up every day on YouTube, until you're willing to be consistent, until you're willing to get in your car in 0 below temperature and 100-degree temperature, you're never going to experience the super sticker amazing chat. Because who the fuck wants to give you a super sticker when you're in your house vacuuming in your Airbnb, watching a movie? That's not exciting. You lost your eye to a tiger. Thank you, Blanche. You said inspirational. No, man, you're right, but what the fuck are you going to do when you're in a home base? Guys, we're going to be talking about some other shit. But right now, we enjoy the moment, okay? Because what I can tell you guys, like I bet, we ain't peaked yet, okay? And even when I get a home base, or if I get a home base, we ain't peaked. Why? Because, guys, look, I'm not in a competition. Why? Because I got no kids, I got no family, I got a job, I got a savings account, and I'm willing to work. So I don't need to set myself on fire. I need to just be true to myself, show up consistently, and if I fall, get back up. Buy Bitcoin on the dip. It's going to 100K. Guys, you guys been right on Bitcoin. So I'm not going in front of anyone. Okay. I always tell you guys, just keep an income, keep a savings, and remember not to take too much risk if you ain't got kids in a family. And if you got kids in a family, you shouldn't even be buying, you damn sure shouldn't be buying currency. You should be buying the index fund and then long-term it. Remember, guys, single stocks, currency trading, bond market, that's not for the average person. The average person should just have a savings account, index fund, and leave that shit alone. All right, guys, I'm way off topic. I know I missed some live comments. Forgive me. Forgive me, have mercy on me. I'm going to go back live comments in order. I'm going to take a hydration break. Thank you again, everyone. Oh, shit. Damn it. The faucet's open tonight, guys. Child of C. The godly fall down 7 times and they get up 8th time. Yes, I believe that's in the book of Proverbs. So this is what I want to tell you. I'm not going to promote any one religion, but I'm going to say if you read the Bible, the best book in the Bible, in my opinion, is the book of Proverbs, because it's simple, basic wisdom that will help guide your life. And what I can tell you is that scripture's in there. You fall down 7 times, stand up 8. I believe that's also an Asian proverb. So I don't know who said it first. You know, it's like who came first, Aaron Hall or R. Kelly? Well, Aaron Hall came first, but no one really remembers, I've been missing you. Remember Aaron Hall? Who remembers Aaron Hall? No one. Everyone remembers R. Kelly. But R. Kelly stole his style from Aaron Hall. Okay. So no one remembers that. So guys, I don't know if the Bible was the first one that came up with fall down 7 times, or if the Asian philosopher did. I don't know. But I know this, guys. Aaron Hall and R. Kelly are both done. And I know this. Religion is done. Guys, no religion is the new religion. But we're still going to go back and we're going to read good scripture. And we're going to say, you know what, this part was good. Because, guys, we're in the 5th dimension. The 5th dimension is where the Pope says, look, you can be gay. Why can he say that? Because 50 years ago, priests were giving blowjobs. Okay? Guys, we're in the 5th dimension where Joe Biden's taking down the wall that Donald Trump built up. Why? Guys, guess what? Now you don't have to marry Donald Trump to get your passport. All you got to do is just sign up at the local community center. Guys, we're going to the 5th dimension. The 5th dimension, okay, is not for those comfortable, snuggled up in their king-size comforter they bought from Big Lots. Guys, the 5th dimension is for the passionate, the intense, or at least those who show up. Because even if you're a low-energy person and you like hot chocolate with a lot of marshmallows, there's still hope for you guys. Because remember, guys, this is what makes the world go round. Everyone can't be intense like this. It's like, guys, I'm not Hillary Clinton. Like, I really roll around with hot sauce, okay? Like, I'm not like Hillary. I have hot sauce on standby. I'm intense. Okay. And what I can tell you is, guys, if everyone was walking around this intense, guys, the world would be on fire. Okay. Thank God for the lazy people. They put some cold water on you, you know? Because, guys, it's very high energy. All right, let's take hydration. We're getting very hot. Yeah, I don't know if I could do this when I had a home base. My neighbors go crazy. All right, we're going back live comments in order. Thank you again, Chelsea. Where are we at? Baptism of fire. Read that. I read Paul's comment. Roberto, right? Thank you again, Roberto, for joining. Love to you, man. One of my newest members. Hal, I got MILFs. Well, I had some. Now I just watch them free on porn. Why? Because too much work. Too much work to take care of MILFs, man. I don't have time for that. But again, love and respect to my women. Why? We got the first woman vice president. And what I could tell you is that's a blessing. Okay. Why? Hey, guys, because I got a woman boss. And I think women are great that now they got power. And I think it's great that women can be single, men can be single, and everyone have equal opportunity. And I'm telling you right now, guys, I'm all for equality. Why? Because, guys, I want everyone to leave me alone and just go do them. Roberto, what should I do to have a better sleeping habit? Oh, very easy. Wake up by 6 a.m., the latest. Try 5 a.m. Take no naps during the day. Stay productive all day. And by the end of the day, you'll be sleeping by 10, 11 o'clock the latest. There's no way you wake up at 5 a.m., take no naps, do one workout, eat relatively healthy, don't have alcohol, and there's no way by the end of the day you're not sleeping by 10, 11 o'clock latest. No way. And masturbate once. Masturbate right before you go to bed. Shoot that load. See, some people, that gets them upset. What type of people? People are heating up their second pizza in their oven, in their Airbnb. Guys, there's some people that are so dry. You know the last time they masturbated, they don't even remember. What type of person is backed up like that? Okay, I'll tell you the type of person. The type of person will back up their toilet bowl in an Airbnb and then call their landlord and bitch about it. 90% of all plumbing problems come from too much toilet tissue down the toilet and hair in the drain. Okay, and if you don't believe me, ask a plumber with 5 kids. Okay. Guys, a plumber make good money, but you ain't making enough money for 5 kids, okay? I'm not lying about that, okay? I'm not lying about that, guys, okay? So let's just be careful. Roberto, you got it, brother. No naps, wake up early. The rest will come easy, man. Good question. Good question, because a healthy sleep cycle is the number one It's the core foundation of a healthy lifestyle of healthy habits. Good job. Sleeping is when your body repairs its muscle tissue. It's when it flushes the toxins out of your mind. You say, why is there so many psychopaths in the world? They're not getting enough sleep. Why aren't they getting enough sleep? They got 5 kids. They got 2 jobs. They're dead broke, and they got a lot of debt. So, guys, yeah, it's not easy to sleep when you're living with that type of life. Okay, I sleep like a baby every night. It's true. Yeah. Fucking fire, man. Yes. Coconuts, yeah, we're on fire, man. Yeah, a lot of fire emojis. Good job, man. A lot of, oh yeah, that's all piggly wiggly emojis, cow emojis. Yeah, milk the cow till it's dry, guys. Roberto, resilience, damn it, Roberto, you get me, brother. Thank you again for joining. Coconuts, pizza emoji. A lot of people got seduced to that slice of pizza. Never accept free pizza at lunch at your job. You know what destroys every New Year's resolution? The free pizza at your job, the free Dunkin' Donuts at your job. You may have a great boss. I had a great boss. Guys, I'm telling you right now, say no to the munchkins. I'm telling you right now, say no to the bagels that give you heartburn. I'm saying right now, say no to Panero bread. Panero bread is skinny food for fat people. There's some fat people that convince themselves that Panero bread's skinny. Now, I did have a few people say, you gained weight. Okay. However, guys, what I can tell you is I lost 200 pounds. Okay. What I can tell you is I'm still probably looking better than you, but I wouldn't say that into your face. Why? Because I try to be nice to people. Now, let's continue. Mockingbird, thank you again. And Blanche, very gracious. Very gracious. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're amazing too. Coconuts. Buy Bitcoin on the dip. I don't promote any one currency or I don't promote any investment. I just say keep your income, keep your savings. Roberto, bitches pumping and dumping. Yeah, that's guys, that's the hustle. Child C, thank you again, man. Yep, you get it. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Paul, if religion is dead, is spirituality and God also dead? No, I believe spirituality and God only come alive when religion dies. Jesus was crucified because he was against religion, not against necessarily spirituality or God. Again, Jesus was Jewish. So it wasn't about he was even against Jewish. He was just against a religious philosophy. And then, look, it doesn't matter Buddhist, it doesn't matter Gandhi, it doesn't matter Martin Luther King, anyone inspired. Like I say, guys, Martin Luther King would never have made a difference if he didn't have that spirituality aspect of his message. Okay. And even Malcolm X, he wasn't Christian, but guys, Malcolm X had great points too. Okay. And those points needed to be made. Okay. Because I don't know if you know, okay, that look, civil rights don't get done unless you have Martin Luther King and the Black Panthers. Okay. And both were investigated by the FBI. Now, look, you could say some of it went too far. You could also say the siege on the Capitol went too far. It's like, guys, look, spirituality and God will never be dead because when times are desperate, that's what you need. I'm not going to say you cling to it because that's not healthy faith. But I'm saying you always have faith, guys, if you really believe in God, I don't know how you voted for Donald Trump. Some people do. They said they believed in God. That's why they voted for Trump. So, in my opinion, I don't understand God. Okay. I don't know what's after this. I hope something great. I also can't deny that God hasn't shown himself in my life. I also can't deny that if I spill coffee on my basketball shorts, if I got some person who parks next to me and then starts coughing, I curse God. I curse God today. I say, God, what are you, fucking Satan? You put me down this earth, I try and do the right thing, and if people bother me, people get my way. What the fuck kind of God would create a world like this? That's what I say. Especially as I get older, because I say, this is a fucking game. Now, I'm also humble where I realize people got a lot worse than me. I got it good overall. And I apologize to guys. And then I get inspired. I get through the bad time. I get inspired again. But guys, if you live a full life, you don't want to live more than once. You don't want to come back to this bitch. That's not my opinion. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that God doesn't exist or that spirituality doesn't exist because it saved me. It helped me. It helps me now. But As you get older, it's tougher because you get bitter. You've been through more. I mean, how many times can you be at an all-night gas station or be in a public park and someone got a million open spots, they park right next to you and they cough? Okay. What type of person does that? Satan. You said that was Satan testing you. I don't know who it was. Okay. I don't know who it was. But I'm just trying to share with you that God and spirituality are always going to be alive. But we're always going to be in this world that is the devil's playground. Okay. However, look, it's not just the devil's playground because humans have made the world better. And they've also made it worse. But guys, we're better in 2021 than we were in 821. Not 1821, 821. Does anyone even remember 821? What the fuck was going on then? You got no electricity. Guys, remember, you don't even have electricity till the past 100 years. Thomas Edison is from New Jersey. You guys don't know that. The inventor of the light bulb. You have to think about what was life like before electricity. You weren't watching a live feed. You weren't looking at your phone. You had a candle burning. And you were like Roberto asked me, how do I go to sleep early? Well, Roberto wouldn't be asking that 200 years ago because he'd be up at the crack of dawn. He'd be helping his family tend the farm. And by the end of the night, there'd be a candle lighting up the house on a little house on the prairie. And he'd be tired as fuck. Now, guys, there's stimulus. There's the Federal Reserve. There's a 50-year bond. Guys, you looking at your phone all night long? That we're in a whole nother dimension, man. You guys still don't realize we're in the fifth dimension. You guys have no idea, man. Yeah, let's take hydration break, man. Paul. Oh, yeah, Roberto. True. Thank you, man. Charles. Also my newest member. Free pizza will give you a yeast infection. Well, I'm telling you this. I don't know if free pizza will do. I know going down on a girl that's got leopard skin panties will probably get you crabs. But she's a good girl and you're going to have some good times. What I could tell you is this, guys. When in doubt, when in doubt, stay single. Let's just say that. Let's stay single if you can. But I don't know, man. Someone told me this week. I was surprised. I don't know how to react. That they've been married 3 times and the third marriage has been working out. So that kind of goes against my theory, which was get married once. Don't even get married. But if you get married, don't get married more than once. Look, everyone has their own way to live life. So some people figure it out. For them, like maybe they'll have 3 kids, maybe they'll have 3 houses, and they're happy. So again, guys, you got to remember, this is just my channel, my expression. You'll have to figure out your own life. Now, again, it doesn't mean that my life and your life's going to vibe. Like, you may come on my live feed and say, no, I want to have a 50-year mortgage with 5 kids. And I'll say, well, you're blocked. Why? Guys, my life, my channel. Now, if I had to work with you, and we were, guys, I got love for everyone. I really do. Even people, but this is like my personal space. I'm very certain way in my personal space. Charles laughing good. Laughter's good for the soul. Paul. What are your thoughts about stealth parking outside hotels and apartments? I don't do it. Some people do it. I don't feel comfortable. Obviously, technically, it's against the law, but so is jaywalking. I mean, so I'm not here making a citizen's arrest. I'm just saying I personally don't feel comfortable. It's like unsustainable. And this is the thing. Like you can kind of like, if the cops ever come and you're at a rest area, or if you're at a truck stop, or even if you're at a 24/7 Walmart or gym, there's a level of justification there, especially if it's the first time someone ever asked you, what are you doing here? It's like you can justify it. It's, if you're in a hotel parking lot, if you're in front of a residential area, you really can't justify why you thought sleeping here was a good idea. And this is what happens. Once the cops in that community stop you once or have an interaction with you, you are marked in their system. Okay. And even if you don't get a ticket or anything, then so you want to, the whole part of stealth is you want to stay under the radar, but sometimes you stay under the radar by going to areas that are allowed to be on the radar. Truck stop, rest area, all-night Walmarts that allow it. Some gyms, etc. Again, I'm not saying every one of them works all the time, but I'm saying those are the areas you're allowed to be. So it's like sometimes stealth is being self-aware rather than you think stealth is in front of a Marriott where they have 24/7 cameras when the person behind the front desk is always looking at those cameras. When you're in a car with a sunshade on in the middle of the night, all your windows blacked, you're listening to my live feed, you're laughing, you're spilling your coffee or your food on yourself, and you're turning around, your car's shaking, and you're not stealth. You're going to get in trouble, So it's like, you this is what I tell every beginning nomad. At least for the first 3 months, you have to figure out where you're going to park. And you have to know that if you get asked or if you get questioned, that you have an exit strategy. Whether it's to go back in an apartment, go back in an Airbnb, because it's going to happen. It happened to me. It's part of the learning process. You're not going to get into the boxing ring and not get hit in your mouth. It doesn't work like that. You're not going to get on the football field and not get hit. It doesn't work like that. There's no way in life you have a job and don't have a bad day. It's not. But many people have a bad day at job. They drop out of workforce. They never come back. Many people, guys, they get hit one time on a football field. They never come back. Now, guys, even after a couple years of playing football, I quit because I remember, I don't know what I was, a sophomore. I said, well, I don't really see myself as an NFL player. I'm not going to keep taking these hits for no reason. So I'm not saying when you take a hit and when you decide to quit, it's wrong. Because why should you put yourself in jeopardy if it's not part of your plan? Like for me, like I say, part of my plan was to get to Florida and to live free. Now I'm kind of just playing overtime. I'm kind of just figuring out what I want to do after 4 years. Okay, so I figured out, look, if I really want to make my life easier without committing to a house, I get a small travel trailer. I stay at more campgrounds. I'm good. Okay. That's one of my exit strategies. My other exit strategy is buy a small, modest home base. My other exit strategy would be to Airbnb. But like I'm telling you, once you go down those roads, you don't go back to where I'm at unless you're destitute. I'm not going to gain more comfort and then go back to this level of basic living. Why? Because that's like going backwards again. The reason I took a step backwards with my comfort and my living style was because I had too much. I needed to be maximum flexible to change locations, change my life. Now I'm just a little bit reluctant of giving up that flexibility because I know once I give it up, I'm not going to go back to this unless I'm destitute. So I'm just being very slow and cautious. And I'm also enjoying the journey because as much as I sacrifice, there's a huge level of liberation and freedom in this life when you're living this free. And I know if I ever get a travel trailer, if I ever go on an Airbnb, I'm not as free as I am now. This is a rare time in my life. I don't know how long I'll keep doing it. Right now, I'm just playing with house money. That's it. I'm like coconuts. I bought Bitcoin off the 500% I made on Tesla. So if Bitcoin goes up to 100K, it's house money. If Bitcoin goes down to 5K, it's house money. Okay. So at this point in my nomad life, I'm just playing with house money. You know what I mean? So, that's how you got to look at it. Charles laughing good. Paul, what are your thoughts about, I read that. All right. I think I read all live comments. I did. All right. Thank you again for all the comments. I hope my videos help you in some way with information, inspiration, or motivation. Hope they provide value to you. Thank you to all my members who show that love by joining the channel. No long-term commitment. You can cancel anytime. Thank you for all the super chats, Child to See, Blanche. Appreciate Mockingbird. Blanche twice and Sky High. Love to all my members, Charles, Paul, Roberto, Coconuts, Tony Guerrero, Hal, and I think I got everyone. Forgive me if I didn't. I just want to show acknowledgement and gratitude. Paul, again, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Coconuts, I love you. Custom Drop That Mic. Keep showing up. Keep pushing forward. And, like I say, fall 7 times, stand up 8. Try to, when you get back up, try to keep things simple and learn from your mistakes as best you can. All right, peace.